Alright guys and girls, let's continue where we left off yesterday. We're looking at least common multiple and greatest common factor for each pair of numbers. Right now we have 8 and 12. So I'm going to start by listing multiples for 8 and 12. And remember, multiples are like skip counting. So I have 8, 16, 24, 32, and I'll go to 12. I have 12, 24, and I already have my least common multiple, so I don't need to go any further. As far as greatest common factor, we can make a factor tree. 1 and 8, 2 and 4. That would be our factor tree for 8. For 12, I have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. And I want to find the greatest common factor, which looks like I have a 1 in common, a 2 in common, and a 4 in common. So my greatest common factor is 4. Let's do the same thing over here with 7 and 15. 7 and 15. Oh, I remember this one. 7 and 15. Actually, if you do all of the work, it turns out that my least common multiple is actually going to be 7 times 15. This one takes quite a bit of work, and you'll have to show all of that without your calculator. I have actually done this ahead of time, and it turns out that you will find your least common multiple is 105. As far as greatest common factors, we have 1 and 7, and for 15, we have 1 and 15, 3 and 5, and the greatest common factor between these two is actually only going to be 1. Alright, let's take a look at the back here. Straighten up my paper. And write each mixed number as an improper fraction. Boy, this is really tiny here. It does say 1 and 7/8. So I have to take 8 times 1, which is 8, plus 7 is going to give me 15. I always keep the denominator the same, and we are done. Write each decimal as a fraction. Remember when we talked about fractions and decimals, we talked about them being equivalent because they will sound the same. So if I have 6/10, 6 in the tenths place, that would also be 6/10, which, if you want to get fancy-nancy, would also be equal to 60/100. If I have 1 and 25 hundredths, that is the same as 1 and 25/100. Now, if you would like, you could simplify that. And of course, we could say, oh, 5 fits into this, 25 fits into this. We can do some division here. But you should simply know 25 hundredths is equal to 1/4. You are smart enough to know that. Now, write each improper fraction as a mixed number in simplest form. If we have 5/2, I like to rewrite it that way. That means 2 fits into 5 twice. 1 left over 2. So 5 halves is equal to 2½. Write each fraction as a decimal. So I have 3/50ths, which is pretty difficult to think about writing that as a decimal. So what you can do is think about percents and decimals out of 100, because it's hundredths value system. So if I write this as equal to 6/100, 6 hundredths, then it's easier for me to write that as a decimal, yes? Okay. Order from least to greatest. Draw a picture if needed. Now I'm thinking that we're beyond pictures. If you'd like to draw a picture, by all means go ahead. But I'd rather you draw a picture of something beautiful, like a butterfly, or those of you that like to draw dragons, if you may. Yes, draw something like that on your paper and turn it into me. That would be exciting for me to see. Some of you are very artistic. Okay, back to math. You know I like to get off task. I have 1/4, 2/5, and 3/8. Now what I like to do is think of the decimal equivalents for these because it helps me put them in order from least to greatest. Oh my, 2/5, that would be equal to 4/10. And 3/8. Eighths is always a stubborn one, you know. But I do remember that we had to memorize all of our fraction decimal equivalents. Oh! There's a mouse on the floor.
I was gonna come.
Look! I found a mouse. Oh,
Hi!
it's a big one. Sorry for the interruption. Okay, let's try to get through this last problem. Oh, so unexpected. Sorry about that. 3/8. Where were we? Yes, 3/8. Well, 1/8 I know is equal to decimal point 125. So if I multiply that by 3, I could add it 3 times. Then I would get, decimal point 375. So if I go to put these in order, then I'll have 1/4, 3/8, and then 2/5. Oh, I'm still startled by that mouse. Did not know we had a mouse in the house. I'm going to have to set a trap for that. Okay. All right. Well, let's just oh, golly, should we just finish up the page? Yes, let's do it. Let's just finish up the page. Okay. If I write a decimal equivalence for 7/8, according to what I've already done up here, this is going to be 0.875, and this is only going to be 0.3. So definitely know that that one's larger. And if I take a look at this next one, this is easy peasy lemon squeezy, right? I know that you had elementary teachers that would say that. So 1/2, this is equal to half. 6/12 is equal to half. And 4/8 is also equal to half. So there you have it. And now I must go on a mouse hunt. Until next time, remember that I love you. Stay safe. Keep those hands washed. Have a good day.